What's up, you guys? How we doing? Hope you guys liked that exhaust video for the coupe. Came out real nice. Funny thing is I don't even know if you guys noticed, but in the end of the video there was no drive shaft or transmission or anything in the car. I've been fighting this oil pan leak on the coupe for a while. I've had this Moroso oil pan. It has these billet main cap ends at the end of the oil pan, and I don't know if that's hurting or messing up the seal, but I'll show you guys what I got going on. It seems to like push down really tight on the seal and kind of ruin it and hurt it. So I decided to pull the motor out again on the coupe and finally figure out what's going on with this oil pan. And I actually got a new oil pan in just in hopes to fix this issue, you know, because I'm not trying to have any more leaks on this car. And so yeah, here you guys go. Right after I got back from the test drive, brother and we just pulled this motor and tranny out. And you guys see the exhaust is still brand new. It's only got like 2 miles on it, 3 miles. So main reason for doing this is it was leaking enough to where it was getting on my exhaust on my old stuff. And since this was new, I didn't want to get it all nasty, you know. So this is what we got, and here's a new oil pan. For those of you wondering why the hell the head's off, Ed? Well, they're over there in a box, hanging out. What do we got there? I don't know, maybe some 205s? Trick Flow R's? Yep. Got it all apart, and gonna get these 205 trick flows on there and doing a couple more upgrades. I'm gonna change the push rods to 3/8 instead of 5/16. These are just a little too small for my liking. I mean, they made 700, but you know, planning to make a whole lot more power now with these 205s. Head studs, everything, rockers all cleaned up, 1/6 trick flows. I don't know if I've ever talked to you guys about my motor or what's in the motor. Pretty nice little build. It's Dart SHP. It's got diamond pistons, twisted wedge cutouts. It's got Callie's crank and Callie's rods. It's got an Ed Curtis cam, custom cam for turbo. It's nothing crazy. I told him I wanted a street, so it's like 230 intake, 240 exhaust duration. Lifters, I got some Morel lifters, link bars. The intake is the R-Box, and I did the Neo Mustangs. Belt sanded my 2 exhaust manifolds. So waiting on my push rods, and as soon as these push rods get here, we'll start going back together with this thing. I mean, it only took me a few hours to get it out, so no big deal. It personally gave me some time to look at everything going on inside the motor, and pretty much everything looks good. It's got 2,500 miles on it, 1 season so far. So that's where I'm at with the coupe, fellas. Sorry I haven't given you any more driving or any more boosted videos, but trust me, we got a lot more coming soon, so stay tuned. I'm gonna clean all this up. The piston tops have a little bit, not much. Yeah, see, they're mostly clean. And yeah, cleaned it all up, and I'll hit you guys up when I got some progress with the heads and everything back on, and show you the push rods I get. Alright fellas, stay tuned. Alright guys, so I wanted to show you a little bit about the oil pan that I had and the issues. So it's a Moroso oil pan for a Fox, front and rear cylinder, and they advertise it with these billet ends right here, which is cool. It's like, yeah, it makes it strong, right? Well, you know, for me it just kept tearing up the gaskets, and you know, I thought about this long and hard. I was like, man, that's a positive, but is it really a positive? Because if you guys look at the stock pan, it's like sheet metal right here. Well, this isn't a stock pan, it's like a can with this kick out added. But if you guys look, that thing actually is tin, and it actually will allow for some flex, meaning like when you start tightening the bolts, it'll push down and conform to the block and gasket a lot better than I think that billet one will. That billet one, I don't know if it was like lining up perfectly even on that little strip, but for me it was just ruining. And I don't know if it has something to do with that pan and being on a dart block. If any of you guys had this issue with a dart block in this Moroso pan, let me know. But I was looking at this Canton, and it's like simulating more like a stock tin pan, so we'll see if we got better luck with that. I was able to install it, and when it crushed down it was nice and even, so we'll see if it's Canton for the win, fellas. So yeah, that's what I wanted to show you guys. It worked fine on my stock block. I never had this issue. Never had this issue on the stock block, and I guess it'll go back on the stock block. Currently I got all the pieces collected for, this is the stock block that came out of the coupe. Got 80,000 miles. It came out running, so nothing's wrong with it. So the 190s are gonna go on this motor, and I got a rotating assembly. It's a scat rotating assembly, crank, rods and pistons, but I'm getting some twisted wedge pistons, and the heart for this girl is coming, fellas. Also, after like a year of waiting, Maximum Motorsports finally delivered the goods. That right there is a tubular K-member. So it only took me a year to get that thing. So I actually had it. I actually had the K-member, but the last time I took out the motor on this coupe, I decided to put full Maximum Motorsport on it. So Cobra was, you know, too far gone. Coupe was ready for everything, so the coupe's got full Maximum Motorsport, and the Cobra was left with nothing. So you guys are gonna start to see my Cobra getting built pretty soon. The coupe, as soon as I get it back together and get it home, my house and kitchen are getting done, so my garage is like full of shit, tools, cabinets, so I can't take the car home yet. But as soon as the coupe is done, it's Cobra time, fellas. And I don't know if you guys know about me and the Cobra, but Cobra is kind of what made me. Back in the day, I got this car in high school, so I've been into Foxes pretty much my whole life. So you guys can see, I got photos of it still. So look at that date. How many of you guys know a guy driving a Cobra back in '02? And here's me racing it at Bandimere Speedway in Colorado. I went to Wildtech back in '01. And this is me on prom night. I took the Cobra. Let's see if I can find a picture of me on prom night. There it is, fellas. Me and my buddy Sal on prom night driving the Cobra. Check out that 5-lug swap back in the day, fellas. It's the first day I got it right there. But yeah, can't wait to bring you guys that Cobra content, because I got some special stuff for this one, fellas. Special. I've been collecting parts for like 3 years, and just been collecting. And I never wanted to start this build because this is like my high school sweetheart car, you know. It's the one I want to do right. It's the one I want to do perfect. Not that the coupe ain't perfect, and like it's perfect for me. It's like the perfect street car. The car still has the, you know, factory wiring, everything in it, and I just added everything. But the Cobra, I think I'm gonna rewire the whole car and go all out. So stay tuned, fellas. All right, I'll keep you guys updated on the coupe and a couple more builds in the shop. All right, fellas, stay tuned. All right, fellas, well, I got her all cleaned up. Just brake cleaned it. A couple areas that didn't come out, but it's not major. One thing I wanted to show you guys is these heads. You see this out the box. You guys inspect all your shit. They're all wrapped up good. But another thing that I found was, I don't know if you guys could see, but there's like a thread hanging in there that wasn't cut. So pretty much moral of the story is check out everything you guys buy, man. Aftermarket, high performance, dealer, whatever. You imagine I put that thing on, never gonna seal, piece of metal flying through the motor, and then I'm shit out of luck, you know. So little inspection when you take everything out the box, take a look at it all. Maybe you don't know what you're looking at, but you might see some out of place, you know. So something to look out for, fellas. All right, I'll keep going, and I guess I gotta wait for another head now. So that sucks. Anyway, take it easy. Check in with y'all later. All right, fellas, I got a little tip. I'm working on the studs right here. The upper studs, they're good. These lower studs, they're 1/2 inch 351, but I'm using them on an A2, and there's a little problem. These are a little too short, so there's not enough head sticking out, you know, so I don't get full thread engagement. But a little trick I learned a while ago from my buddy Turbo John, one of my favorite channels. He's got so much info. Some Daisy 3/8 slingshot ammo, fellas. What the hell is that doing right here on the engine pieces? Well, take the little BBs. You need to buy yourself some space. Stick that guy down there. Every single one. Only problem is when you're taking it apart, don't forget or they'll fall out. Alright, so you got your space now. Bring that bolt up, and now the nut will thread on fully to the stud. So you guys will see when I put it back together. I'll show you what I was talking about, but I was putting it back together, and that was the step that I almost missed from last time. So it's totally good to do. I talked to my machinist. I seen Turbo John doing it, and he's going stupid fast. So a little tip for you guys: if you run into a stud that's too shallow, space it up. All right, fellas. So I got one of these heads on, torqued it in stages, 30, 60, 100, but ARP says 110 on these with the 1/2 inch stud on a small block Ford. I usually go 100, but 110 it is. We need to make sure we can seal up all that boost, right, fellas? So we'll torque this head on, and this side will be ready to go. I wanted to get top dead center on number 1, and then we can check our rocker geometry and make sure our push rods are the correct length. So let's torque this head in, and it'll be the final step for today, fellas. All right, 110. So here's what I was showing you guys about this. See how there's like one thread, but before I put that little bearing in there, or shot, it was a lot more. So I'm happy with that. So we got one of the heads on, waiting for our guide plates and push rods, and I boxed up the other head. I got it at a TRE, the Racer's Edge, here in SoCal, or down in SoCal. So I wrote them an email, sent them photos. I actually found the place on the box that was damaged, so hopefully they can get me one out quick. They're in the same state, so I'll keep you guys updated and posted on what they say and when we get our parts, and we'll continue on to the next part of the build, fellas, getting this baby running. So that's what the 205 trick flow looks like. The Morel lifters, you gotta make sure you get these lifters in before, fellas. There's no way to get them in, so there it is. It's coming together, fellas. All right, guys, I got a little update for you on the 60,000 mile notch. It's actually back together. Been like, what, 2 weeks since I checked in with you guys about this car. Funny story, you guys saw it running. First video, it was a fail. The MSD box was no good. But then at the end of the video, you guys saw that we actually got it running. What happened was, it was a bad MSD box. Customer had provided me a MSD box that was used. So I installed it and put it in, and it didn't run. It didn't even turn on. So he got me a new one, and you guys saw in the video, it ran one time. But I actually went on vacation. I went to Mexico, and the thing didn't turn on when I got back. So I was like, what the hell? It was on. Ended up being one of our other customers had an MSD box, and I said, you know what, let me just try this thing. If for some reason who knows, let's try it. I tested all the terminals. I was getting power, signal, cranking, voltage, everything. So I was like, man, this thing should run. But luckily I had a customer with another MSD box, and I installed it, and what do you know, fellas? This thing starts up, first crank, first try. Here you go. Got the exhaust on. Everything is ready to pretty much, we drove it. He actually came yesterday and we drove it, and he was loving it. Kind of a rookie, didn't know how to drive it, but he'll learn. He ain't used to the power. So here you guys go. I'm gonna get you a little sound of it, and a couple more videos coming on this, some driving and some tuning, and we're definitely gonna hit the dyno with this one too, fellas, so stay tuned. So here it is. Woo, right away. Don't die on me, girl. Don't let me down. There it is, fellas. Blue Coupe is alive and driving. A lot of work into this baby. It's driving, everything is done. I'm pretty much, all I need to do is finish this custom AC, wire it, and he can have it back. So here's your guys' little update on the Turbo Coupe 347 on 3 Performance Turbo Kit. Got a precision turbo, precision wastegate, and the rest is the stock kit. The only difference is we ceramic coated it. Yeah, so ceramic coat looks pretty good. So there you guys have it. Hope you guys like this coupe, man. She's nice. I'll have some driving and other footage on it, so stay tuned, y'all. One more down. Next project we got, and it's gonna be the last one I take for a minute. You guys will see why. It's this blue GT that my man Lloyd owns. He's like the original owner of the car. The reason I took this guy his build on is he's like, pretty much, he's like, man, I want you to do the baddest build you ever done. And so I was like, all right. When somebody tells you that, you know they want something nice, and we gonna not cut any corners and do it right. It's already got a 408 stroker in it, so I'm just gonna leave it at 408 and twins. So stay tuned, fellas. All right, see you on the next one. Later.